Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning back in again. My name is Justin Ibarra with Captain & Co., and I am here again with
Brett Davis.
the Mr. Brett Davis, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend.
No, just Brett.
Just Brett. Okay. Well, I am here with the Just Brett back again, and we are going to be talking about some exciting Brett's Naturals information, right? Some new products coming out.
Right.
Brett, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Well, as you know, you were at the Invitational the other night, the first one we've had, and it was, I got nothing but today. Went to the radio station. Everywhere I've been going, people have been coming up, hey, we really heard good things about your event. So people talk.
Yeah.
People that normally don't say anything have come up and said it was a great event. And then in particular, people have come up and said, you know what I really liked about that show, because we expected, we didn't know really what to expect. We liked the part where individuals came up that you had 4 individuals that came up and talked about how they had used your product and got in shape, because we didn't. Oh, there was 5. Okay, forgot about the 5th one. Okay, there was 5 Beatles too, by the way. Did you know that? There was not a lot of. Actually, there was probably 6, but 5 for sure. But anyway, so these individuals ended up doing very well in a 3-month period of time, and the product was never developed for super athletes or people that wanted to be bodybuilders, or it was developed for people that just were coming out of the pandemic. I think you used to call it something 20.
The COVID 20.
COVID 20.
Right? You've heard of the freshman 15. Now it's the COVID 20.
So it was for those individuals that maybe were locked up, and myself included, because we all had different things going on during that period of time. And we also started to reflect and look at our lives differently, because things that we thought were important before the lockdown, life took on a whole different meaning.
Definitely.
And one thing was maybe taking care of ourselves, like we once used to go to the gym and maybe do things where we couldn't do those things anymore. People that normally didn't gain weight gained weight, and also got depressed. And so I'm like, okay, you and I had discussions about the whole lockdown, what we thought about it. And I felt like people's freedoms were being taken away, and they were being put in a box to where we were becoming like puppets.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like that, because I think we all should be who we want to be and not be judged and do what we want to do. And so people's health started to become challenged. And since I have a gift with that, I thought one thing I could give the world was something that I thought would help their situations. So it was never about just making a product to make money. I mean, don't get me wrong, we want to make money, but I love seeing people happy. You know that. All of our events, things that we do, are about bringing people together that are different, have different opinions, but yet we can get together and celebrate something that we had in common, whether it's talent or each other's successes or whatever the deal. So I came back out with these products, and they're very simple. And we used it on some clients that were training online that really trained no more than 4 hours a week. That was cardio and whatever weights, whatever they were doing. And you don't have to follow a certain program to do this. You could have your own program. You could do yoga. You could do, whatever it is that you like to do. And so by incorporating 1 or 2 of these a day with water, or by adding it in the food, it helps balance out your blood sugar. It helps keep you from overeating, and it doesn't taste that bad.
No, it tastes very good. I've used a few, proteins before. I've been around the block on it, and I would say that the French vanilla was very good. I think I told you that like a few months ago. So yeah, Brett also sponsors me to use this stuff. I use a lot of Brett's Naturals, and then my girlfriend trains me, and so it's kind of cool. I got a nutritionist and a personal trainer helping me out with all my stuff. But I really stand. I haven't tried the chocolate yet. I'm sure it's
so. I have to tell you, I'm a vanilla guy, and
nice.
Because you can do a varieties of things with vanilla. You can make it into a strawberry berry drink. You can turn it into a green drink, and you really don't have to taste it. Now, this product does have dairy, which I don't highly think everybody should use. We also have a vegetarian product. I think that it's coming out very soon too, that we used to come out with, but we want people to feel happy and secure with the products. Everything in the world has gone up in price, and I would have loved to have kept the price fairly reasonably fair for everybody. And we'll talk about the price in a moment. But what I would like to talk about is those 5 individuals that we kind of I got off course with a little bit. Uh, in 3-month period of time, people lost 20 to 40 pounds. And I had one guy on the East Coast that came all the way from the East Coast on his own dime to be at that event.
Wow.
Because he believed so much in the product.
Wow.
And he says, I want to be there. And I said, well, you don't have to. It's expensive. He said, no, I want to be there because during this period of time, I got off my blood pressure medication, I got off my cholesterol medication, and I got off my diabetic medication. And I credit your product and the things that you taught me. And it only took 4 hours a week of my life.
I think that was the most powerful testimony at the event that day. I would say is when, he didn't just say, he said you changed his life. You really, to be able to take someone off medication, help someone take themselves off medication.
And by the way, originally when we started, first of all, I'm not a doctor. Doctors are doctors. We need to listen to what they have to say. But he was staying in touch with his physician during that time. And the physician kept monitoring during that 3-month period of time, his stats and what were happening with his vitals. And what ended up happening was the doctor looked at him finally, and they both agreed. He says, everything went down. What are you doing differently? He says, you've been like this for 2 years. And he told him what he was doing. He says, well, you don't need to be on medication anymore. And for a doctor to say that, that's powerful because
that's huge.
We don't have enough of that going on in this country. We talked about even in some cases how pharmaceuticals are really not helping people as much as they should because people are supposed to be on them for a short period of time. And there's other natural sources of things, one of them being CBD and things like that I do believe that we should be looking at as alternatives for overall health.
Yeah, I agree. So I know you offer these products. Do you offer any other services and, to keep, accountability?
This is something you and I've talked about. First of all, none of this is rehearsed. This is something that I believe in shooting from the hip, and I try to keep things raw and real. It's not always very popular, by the way, but I don't know any other way to be. And it gets me in trouble sometimes, but I think people trust that when I say something, it's legitimately what I believe, and it's not just something to make a buck. Again, we do need to make some money because we won't have a company, but my main thing that drives me is seeing things help people become better. And if they are testimonies and they share it with friends, and I have a lot of clients like that. I have generations where I have 4 generations of family members that have followed my programs, and I've worked with great-grandchildren all the way to the great-grandmother.
Wow.
I have stories like that of people that trust me. And so it isn't just something that I'm just doing like everybody else to sell something online.
Yeah.
And we got off course again. So what was it you were saying? We were talking about
the other services that you offer besides just the protein.
So we talked about doing an app, which is what everybody's doing nowadays. But then you and I talked about how it might be better to do a Facebook private group.
Yeah. Like an accountability group, if you will.
Yeah. And if the people are on a subscription or they're paying monthly for the products, maybe we give them a huge break on what it would cost to be part of that group.
Got you. So like a membership, essentially.
Yeah.
So like if you were to sign up for this Facebook group and be a part of it, do you get specific membership benefits like maybe discounted product, or do you give them a nutritional advice? What can they expect?
I believe in giving, making it like a classroom setting, but yet making it a worldwide gym classroom setting. And it doesn't have to be just gym. It could be just a wellness group somewhere. And I really believe there's 2 positive things that came out of the pandemic. One is we realized we don't have to go to work every day and we can work out of our house and use Zoom. That's one thing. And we can be productive that way. The other thing is we also had to adapt and find ways to train at home. And so you saw increases in home gyms and home workout facilities new records, new numbers that we've never seen.
Like Peloton, for example.
Peloton, it's come back down since then, by the way.
Yeah, it has.
But there's still a need where all you need to really do every day is 20 minutes a day. If you can find 20 minutes a day to do something that gets your heart rate up for 20 minutes and you're able to come back down. And then you also can control your cravings and caloric intake. You don't have to kill yourself doing serious, strenuous workouts. And in a crazy time, I'm always looking for cutting edge types of training. My new workout only takes 10 minutes a day.
Yeah, you're still doing the bands,
The X3,
right?
yeah.
Yep.
And
Let's hear some of that.
well, the X3 is, I think, is probably one of the greatest things invented since the dumbbell. And I'll tell you why, because the X3, have you seen the X3?
I have not seen it. You've told me about. Well, I might have seen it on social media. I don't know if that was the specific one you're using.
So
I've seen
originally,
something like it.
so originally, what caught my thing was this guy was the upside down pyramid. He was telling everybody that they were overtraining, and that all you really needed to do is train 5 to 10 minutes a day, but at a very high intense rate. And then, so the bands that he developed were through NASA. So he has a patent for these bands with NASA. It's specialized rubber that you're not going to be able to go to the store and buy.
Why through NASA? Just curious.
They have a technology that they're able to do the same amount of mass, the size of the bands, but incorporate more intensity in those bands that you're not going to be able to find in a regular band. I mean, he's developed a band that is probably that wide that ends up being 500 pounds of press.
Wow. What are these made out of? Do you know?
Some type of rubber, specialized rubber, but there's other things incorporated in them because they last a lifetime if they're taken care of. But basically, those bands come with a stainless steel bar that it's maybe that wide. We need to be doing more. Actually, he called me today. He wants to do a podcast next week.
Wow. Awesome.
So his partner in business is a guy named Tony Robbins, who's the motivational speaker.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know who Tony Robbins is. So that they're business partners, and they developed something before that worked really well for making bone density stronger for people that had we're seeing a lot more people with weaker bones.
Interesting.
More than ever. Younger people are breaking bones like never, and we can't figure out why.
Interesting.
He thinks that the body is just not being challenged enough in a shorter period of time. So he developed this bone density machine. And with that, they got all this data. And with that data, he decided to take that data, Dr. John, and came up with the X3.
Wow.
So the X3 it looks like a gun case. It's like maybe that wide. You can sling it over your shoulder and travel with it.
Nice.
And it gives you no reason the way you have to go to the gym. Now,
that's a very controversial statement right there.
Well, I call it a gym in a suitcase.
Interesting.
And he thought that was he hasn't used it. If he does, I need to get a percentage of it.
Yeah.
But John's take on eating is different than mine too, because John does believe that all we need to eat is once every 48 hours. And that our body does better when it's fasted, mentally and physically. And if we're looking for answers, sometimes you learn more in a fasted state. So John and I, of course, debated a little bit on the nutrition thing, but John is a biochemist. Dr. John Jaquish is who I'm talking about, who's the inventor of the X3. And so when I first heard about John, I was attracted to, he was causing a lot of anger in the fitness community. Who's this guy to come in and tell us how to train?
Yeah.
And all these gyms are, it's kind of like the pharmaceutical industry. We need to spend more time working out, and we have to go to a gym every day to train, which we know is not true. John's made it easy for us to train in a very high-end, fast way. And I will put you through maybe one of these workouts or one of these podcasts coming up.
Yeah.
I will put you through a workout.
You should.
With the X3.
Yeah, definitely. Have you seen what's called, I think it's called the tonal machine? Have you seen, is it similar to that? I think that's LeBron James's new fitness thing. It's a machine that you put up on the wall, right?
No. I think it's a great machine.
Is the X3 similar to that though?
Isn't that machine kind of electric with
cables?
Yeah. This machine doesn't require any electricity at all.
Gotcha.
Your body is the machine.
I guess like what I'm trying to say is the movements and the idea look similar, like the way that they have the cables. I think previously you and I had talked about the vibrations or the way that you shake using the
You
bands.
won't, you will shake more with the bands than you will with the cable.
Got you. Okay.
The cables are very effective for contracting,
Hmm.
but the bands, your muscle, that's the difference why I think the body gets cut up faster. I like the word cut, shredded,
Hmm.
cut, because I think a lean, cut, shredded body is what is ideal for the overall person. And I think that's what we should strive for. Now, we're not looking to be bodybuilders. I've always thought that a good, lean, defined body that's athletic always was more attractive in clothes, out of clothes, and it just looks better, I think. The number one health magazine in the country is still Men's Health because a lot of people like that look.
Yep.
It's a look that's classy. It's a look that's fashionable. It's healthy looking, and there's a reason why more people read that magazine more than any other magazine in fitness. Because I think originally at one time that magazine started off, and I thought it was brilliant, with the everyday person. They didn't use celebrities. Now they use celebrities because they have the money to do that. But I personally think if they went back to having the every average, like having you on the cover and showing you,
He's saying I'm average.
no.
I'm just kidding.
When I mean average, usually it's attractive people on the cover that are in good shape that we don't know who they are, but because they become celebrity in their own right because they reach out to the masses and everybody wants to know who's that person. I want to look like them. What are they doing to do that? So when you tell me that my whole workout for 1 week will take no more than 1 hour total for a whole week, do you know what you can do with the rest of that time?
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, I know my workout routine is, number one, I have to drive to the gym, right? That's 10, 15 minutes right there. I get there, I do really light stretches. I do, between 15 to 20 minutes of cardio. And then after that, I'm doing, up to 45 minutes of weights. Then I got to drive back. So you're looking at anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours of gym time every day. That's basically a 12th of your day.
How much gas are you spending also?
Exactly. It's good. I don't even want to think about that.
So I will make sure John Jaquish gets a copy of this. First of all, he's a genius, and he's a very humble guy who happens to drive very high-end, beautiful automobiles. He's got a beautiful wife. He's cutting edge with everything he does. And he's the most honest, real guy that I know. And because of that, he's taking heat in the community of fitness and biochemistry. But he doesn't deal in emotion. He deals with fact and numbers. And that's what attracted me to him because I love to work out, as you know. I'm a former 3-time natural Mr. Universe who's going to try to enter the universe this time just using the X3, not using weights at all.
Wow.
And cutting my workout down from 60 to 90 minutes a day.
We'll document that whole process.
To using X3 a total of 1 hour a week.
Wow.
Which really is controversial, right?
Yeah.
And not having to drive anywhere. Because I mean, she's talking to me in the living room. Next thing I know, I've got the X3 on the couch and I'm putting it together. And I would stay, and then I put the stopwatch on my phone. And sometimes I get done in 7 minutes.
Wow.
But I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, I'm constantly under intense pressure using that X3. And is it for everybody? No. First of all, I want everybody to realize that I use it because it works for me, and there's a lot of people that it would work for you. You do very well using it. I would love to see Sarah use it, and I would work with her on it. But and I'm not getting paid by John to say any of this.
Yeah. You believe in it?
No, originally I was so impressed with because I look for reality of stats, and I'm a numbers guy too. And if I could spend more time spending time with my wife and my kids or doing things that I like to do, why the hell would I want to be in the gym?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
If I could do more things, creating stuff and doing, not to say that I'm knocking what anybody that does do it.
Yeah.
But life has become, for me, also become different because I value time more. And I want the most out of my time. And with these products, John might disagree or not disagree. It's not neither here nor there. because John does really good stuff too. But my products are more geared towards the everyday person. And by the way, if you can do the X3, great. But maybe you like to do yoga. Maybe you need the more of the mental part of it. I got to tell you also, I do occasionally go to the gym a couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, and I will use a gym in Imperial Beach, which you've
IB Fitness.
yeah, IB Fitness,
Yep.
which is a great gym, and they have a very high end, very intense gym where they do like strength, power strength stuff.
A lot of military goes there.
Well, a lot of SEALs, a lot of special ops.
Yeah. So some of the best of America's military trains there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a no nonsense. If you want fluff and you want a pretty gym, you probably need to go to some other pretty gym because that's not the kind of place it is. It is a real intense gym. Savage.
Savage.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Savage is a good word. That would be good. And I can tell you everybody that goes there is very focused and intense. A lot of law enforcement. They did not close during the pandemic. She would not close during the pandemic.
Wow.
She wanted her special clients that go in there to be able to work out during that period of time.
Well,
she took a lot of heat for that too, by the way.
Yeah. Well, you talk about law enforcement and military, right? These are people that need to be at peak fitness with their body or else their lives are on it. Not just, not necessarily for health problems, but, if they're out in the field and they're not at peak physical condition, they could die on the battlefield, law enforcement, the stuff that they have to deal with. Right. So I think that's a really cool that she kept that open for them.
Well, and they'll tell you too, that group usually is very honest and they'll look you in the eye and tell you what they think because they don't give a damn what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
They'll tell you what they think. That's what I like about that gym. It's real. When I do go to the gym, I typically would go there over any other gym because first of all, you've been there. They're open 24 hours. All you do is go in there, scan yourself in, and then but my workouts now are geared towards more quicker. I like to, if I could go in and do a set of squats, get it done in 20 minutes of intense 20 minutes of, there's a difference between a sprint and a marathon.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
You pace yourself in a marathon and that takes 2 to 3 hours, 3 hours on average. If you're in really good shape, 4 hours. But a person that sprints, you can get a full workout done pretty quick because your body's under a very intense type of thing. That's where I'm geared towards more. I'm looking more for the meat of everything I do in life about peak performance. If I got 20 minutes of getting the best of something compared to it's going to take me 4 hours of doing the same thing to get the same results, why the hell would I do it 3 or 4 hours if I could do the same thing in 20, 30 minutes at the most?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very interested in.
And I mean, I think you think the same way.
100%.
Because we like to do these things, but it's all about what's impactful and what's going to give you your most back.
Definitely.
Right.
Well, I think even something that's appealing to me is that you called it a gym in a suitcase, right? You know me, I'm all over the place, right? I was in Moab for a couple weeks. I work all over. And so something that I have problems with is having the time to consistently go to the gym, right? If I'm in the middle of nowhere for a couple weeks, there's no gyms over there. So, I'll do push-ups and I'll go running. That doesn't necessarily equate for lifting weights, right?
Well, I mean, it does if you're Herschel Walker, and Herschel Walker does 1,000 push-ups a day.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long I've talked to Herschel. I don't know if you saw the interview.
I don't think I've seen that one yet.
Do you know who Herschel Walker is? Herschel Walker's a badass.
Yeah.
And Herschel does thousands of pull-ups, thousands of push-ups, and he eats once a day. And he looks great, and he hasn't aged. He's just got a gifted body. But one thing I would ask Herschel now, and I don't think he would disagree, but it's whatever he's done work for him. Herschel, how many hours is it taking you to do like 3,000 or 4,000 reps of all this stuff a day? Yeah, it's working for you, but if you could do the same thing in a shorter period of time, he would say, well, it's not the same. But I beg to differ. But I also beg to differ. There's not very many Herschel Walkers. And so what I like to say is, let's simplify our lives. You don't have to kill yourself. spending hours and hours in the gym or eating 5 to 6 times a day, you can get the same results eating twice a day. And in John Jacobs' case, he believes once every 48 hours. And you need to get his book and his information, and we'll be talking more about that. But for me, I like to eat at least, I'm going to where I feel better twice a day.
Very nice. Awesome.
And I would do a shake in the morning with some oatmeal. And then at night, I probably would do some fish, like some salmon, some brown rice, and some broccoli. Yep. And then if I was hungry in between, maybe some fresh berries or some tea. Yeah. But these shakes will pretty much give you the calories and the protein that you need in order to keep your bodies in repair mode and also keep you lean. Yep. Because I'm not looking for bulk. We're looking for lean, quick, fast muscles. Yeah. Yep. And we want something that's going to slow the aging process down.
Very nice. And I know I said it earlier. I love that this protein doesn't taste bad. Like it honestly, it tastes good. I enjoy eating this protein. Most of the time when I'm going to take a protein shake, I'm like, it's one of those things that I'll put it in the water, I'll plug my nose and I drop it back real quick to just get it over with. But this, it's good. You can enjoy it.
So I want to go back to the training part because, and you like being outdoors.
Definitely.
I think personally, like Sarah says, well, why don't we go to the gym? And I'm in this thing now where I think because we were so locked up before, I'm like, no, let's go outside. Let's go do our cardio and do a power walk by the water. Yeah. Or let's go to Bonita and go by the trees and go by the, and I don't want to be inside. I mean, and the thing that's nice is we don't have to be. You can have a really good body, mind and body, exercising outside. And it doesn't have to be a forever thing, an all day thing. It could be, like I said, 20, 30 minutes. But there's something about being outside with fresh air, sunlight, being around people, seeing dogs run by. I love to see that because it just, to me, it's not like being in prison, being isolated.
Definitely.
So going back to this one more time, we're having also a competition. And so we're going to be putting something together where we tell people about this, but we're going to be doing a Hawaiian boot camp in Hawaii, in the North Shore of Hawaii. We're looking at spring or fall of next year. We have 5 winners that are already going, and I'm going to be looking for more winners that are involved with this site that we're going to put together. And I think it's going to be a great competition.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds great.
So again, somebody's going to win some trips and possibly some cash money. I haven't decided on the cash money because Sarah is the COO and she's the accountant of the part of the business. But we would like to have some money kicked in with that too.
Very nice. Very nice.
Have you decided what the money's going to be yet? There will be a trip to Hawaii though.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
To be decided.
Yes. So if you buy one product, it's $34.95. If you buy 3 of them, it comes down to $28.99 each.
Very nice. Better to buy in bulk.
So it's better to buy in bulk.
It's very, very fair priced compared to other high-end proteins.
So I would like to sell it for a cheaper price than that. But what happens is prices have gone up in protein. You can check and Google that because that's a fact, because I just got the email a week ago and I almost had a coronary because I like to keep things fair for people. But the going rate for the powder is gone up. So we do have to charge. But if we do 3 of them, $28.95 is not a bad
Not at
deal.
all. Not at all. I mean, I was buying protein that was close to $100, for, maybe it was a little bigger than this, but not by much,
Right. So this is about, this should probably last you about a month.
Yeah.
For a canister.
Easily.
So that's basically, if you've got 3 months covered.
Yeah.
And actually our competitions are going to be every 4 months. So unless you're doing this a couple times a day or your eating requirements are different.
Definitely.
I think that, that's not a bad price to add in. But anyway,
yeah,
I appreciate the interview.
Yeah, of course. Thank you again for giving me your time. I'm going to enter this competition and I'm hoping that I get to go out to Hawaii. Am I able to enter? I don't know. Maybe I'm not eligible, but
I don't know. I mean, we had a talent show and we didn't vote on it. I felt bad because I wanted everybody to win, but we may have a judging panel that keeps me. Yeah.
Well, I'll go and take photos either way, right? Either way,
Yeah,
I'll be
well,
there.
I think you should enter. And here's the thing. I mean, if you have before and after pictures, and you've done the work and you look great, your work will speak for itself.
Yeah.
It will, and if anybody can't really say, well, it's favoritism. Yeah, but he's lost 20 or 30 pounds in 3 months. I mean,
If I put in the work, then I
yeah,
get
I
the prize,
mean,
right?
people can tell. I mean,
Yeah.
they can tell if something's fixed or not. We don't believe in that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think thanks for your ideas and thoughts on this.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, I'm excited.
And I would love to get this in a private group, and everybody in this group will see. You will see within that group everybody's results, and not everybody can just pop into this group. So
Awesome, awesome. Well, yeah, if you're interested in trying some Brett's Naturals products, I definitely recommend it. And if you're interested in winning a trip to Hawaii, a boot camp trip to Hawaii, I mean, who doesn't want that, right? Definitely go ahead and follow along Brett. We'll link his social handles, all that fun stuff. You can reach out to me, either with Captain and Co. or my personal, if you have my information, reach out to me. I'd love to give you some more information on that as well.
there's a lot of surprises, that always take place. I don't like to promise anything until I know for a fact, but
Yeah.
there are some surprises that will be coming.
Very nice. I love surprises. Oh, and Sarah just said there's strawberry. So there's a surprise right there, right?
Okay. Appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone
Everybody
else.
take care. Brett's
Have a good one.
Naturals.
Brett's Naturals.
Okay.